entrepreneurship is not for everyone. And I couldn't agree more because it's hard, right? Like there is one guy in our network that he said something. I don't want to name dropping in here, but it's Matt Essen, right? But Matt said something that I loved, right? What he said is that when you choose to be a business owner, you choose life in the hardest mode. Like he made an analogy with video game, right? It's just like that's it. It's like
Yeah.
it's not for the faint of heart, right? Like you, you need to take decisions that people are gonna hate you for that,
Mm.
right? Like
Yeah.
especially if you have a team, sometimes you have to cut someone loose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone that you really like personally, but for the business perspective, it's not working or there's no
Mm-hmm.
money enough, right? Oh, but then I'm like, I remember once when I was working for one agency, there was one guy that he wasn't performing well, and then
Mm.
when the business owners talked to him, I could see that his performance was like going down, and then he came and he's like, oh, but I'm gonna get married in 2 months, and then we're buying a house. Like they had to let the person go, right? But does that guy likes them? Clearly not. But the thing is that it was the right decision for the business, right? And doing that sometimes is like taking these kind of decisions, especially when you have a partner, a family member, or a friend, a close friend in there, it may be hard. So if you choose to be a business owner, an entrepreneur, you cannot be a entrepreneur, right? You do not, you cannot just want it. It's like you need to embrace it, right? And I want to explore this a bit more with you because when you started your business, you were probably fresh out of university and you had one mindset. And I wanted to dig deep a bit more, like how much your mindset changed from that moment to where you are currently.
Oh, if I can rewind everything, I should probably have gone to like an MBA program, to be honest with you, or any business program. But I think I'm on this path for a reason, and I think I am on the right path, right? I'm always a big believer, really leaning towards what my gut's telling me or like what my heart really wants to do. And growing up in Bali and then like sorry, not exiting, but graduating from the art school, I already got a job, right? No, 6 months before that, or was it like a year before I graduated, I already got a graphic designer job. Even though I first started as an assistant and then I became like a junior graphic designer and things like that, I'm already in the right path. And it gave me enough exposure in terms of like what is the real world implementation of being a graphic design really is. My only regret is that I should have probably gone to like a advertising agency before going off on my own building one, right? I feel like that is my one regret, to be honest with you. But I have always felt like there's got to be more than just being a graphic designer. And I think because I didn't realize this when I was young, but I think I was really yearning for this project that really touch on the whole brand aspect, right? Not just the graphic design, not just the messaging, not just the website, but more so like how do you understand a business and then promoting a business and getting success for a business in building that brand for their community. So I felt like in terms of that trajectory, I think I was really just like honing in my skills in my 20s, right? Really trying to like, okay, I need to learn graphic design, I need to learn like website, digital design, UI, UX. And then from there, I learned more on the brand strategy side of things and become a strategist. Um, Overlaying that with experience around like marketing as well. And what really resonated with me in my 20s was my husband has always been a big believer like you have to understand the business side of thing. You can't just like design just for the sake of aesthetics, right? So he really just like pounded in my head. It's like, what is the business goal? Are you really solving a business problem here, or are you just making things pretty? So that was like my big, my big, I would say like heights or battle sometimes with him. Like, no, but it has to be this like amazingly creative and beautiful and all that kind of stuff. And he would like giving me such a hard time. It's like, but yes, I understand that, but what really like is this solving a business problem? And I think it took me a couple of years to finally understand, like, yes, I understand where you're going with this. Business is very important to take into a whole account in all of these different approach, right, for branding and marketing. And alongside with that, I got enrolled into many different types of accelerator program as, as my own business, like understanding like how do I implement, business strategy? How do I implement like the marketing plan and strategy for my own business? How does that relevant with things I do for, my clients and stuff like that? If I have to say how things change from the first year that we started the business into where we are today, I felt like we've grown so much, right? The mindset building, but also the business acumen of how we understand business development has really changed a lot. I think what's really getting me excited about working with clients is to try to understand what are they doing with their business, how do they win in the market, and how do we utilize these uniqueness that they have, right? Unique value proposition, so that we can help them win even more in the market.